Sacs Covered Bridge is one of those gems that everybody in town knows about, but is a well-kept secret because, well, it's not really in the battlefield proper. You do have to do a little traveling to get to here. But if you like covered bridges or ghosts, this is one of the more haunted areas, supposedly, on the battlefield. You can see there are pillars in front of it to prevent people from driving over it anymore, and through there, you may also notice that there is 24/7 surveillance because there is a problem with graffiti inside of the bridge, but it does not take away from the overall beauty of this bridge. The bridge was around during the Battle of Gettysburg. However, at one point it was also washed away due to high water and then placed back into its present location. Here you can actually hear a little bit of the water that you could see falling off of the dam. Now, when I say even the locals know about this, they like to come here and use it for wedding photography. So there was a couple here a couple years ago, and I took advantage of them being there. In the past, there were many more observation towers scattered around the Gettysburg battlefield. This is one of the few remaining tall observation towers, which gives you kind of a scope of part of the battlefield. I highly recommend taking the time and effort to walk up it if you see it. Don't let the name fool you, Little Round Top is anything but. It gives you the commanding view that was held by the Union soldiers during the Battle of Gettysburg, and I will say is a much easier walk than trying to get up to Big Round Top. There you can see it looks down into Devil's Den. I will say it is a rather heavily trafficked area by tourists, so be prepared for that. Likewise, Devil's Den is one of those must-see stops if you come to the battlefield. It has something for everybody, especially children that like to climb on rocks. I would highly recommend not doing this, only because there are far too many crevices that they can fall into. Also, be respectful of where you are. As you travel around the battlefield, you will notice that a lot of the monuments tend to look very similar, so I tend to like the ones that are very different. Case in point, this is the Irish Brigade Monument, which is located on Sickles Avenue, the Loop. It was originally dedicated July 2nd, 1888, and cost $5,000 when made. It is created from Gettysburg granite, Quincy granite, and standard bronze. But it does also have a life-size Irish wolfhound, and having come to the battlefield for many, many years, I have lots of extra stock photos that I can put in because the day I came here, the lighting was not the best. The monument marks the July 2nd position of the 63rd, 69th, and 88th New York Infantry of the 2nd Brigade, also known as the Irish Brigade, 1st Division, 2nd Corps. After passing the wheat field, the monument will be located on your left. Be aware you can drive past it because it is set back in the woods just a little bit, and you may not notice it. The Pennsylvania Monument, which can be seen from just about anywhere on the battlefield, honors all Pennsylvania units that participated in the battle and features tablets around the base with a complete roster of each regiment and battery. They are also updated, so you may notice either scratches where names have been removed or areas where names have been added where they were found to have been present during the battle. The Pennsylvania Monument is located on South Hancock Avenue and was originally dedicated September 27th, 1910 at an original cost of $182,000. It is made of Mount Airy, North Carolina granite, and depending on who you talk to, is either one of the most loved monuments on the battlefield or one of the most despised, as it's very large and ostentatious. No matter which camp you fall into, it is well worth a visit if you're coming to Gettysburg. Also, on nicer days during peak season, you can go up that leg to the left to an observation deck and see more views of the battlefield. While it may not look like much, Spangler Springs is a natural spring on the south base of Cope's Hill, southwest of Gettysburg. At times, during the battle, it was occupied by both sides, and there is a legend that on one day, both sides were allowed to use the spring without any fighting. There are also some ghost stories surrounding the spring and area around it, so be cautious coming at night. Another of the larger, more visited memorials is the Eternal Light Peace Memorial. This monument honors the reunification of the North and South and was dedicated on the 75th anniversary of the Battle of Gettysburg. It is located on North Confederate Avenue, Oak Hill, and was originally dedicated on July 3rd, 1938, with an original cost of $50,000. It is crafted from Alabama limestone and crab orchard flagstone. The idea behind that was that you would have materials used from both the North and the South. It is also one of the few monuments in the United States that has an eternal flame. So very much like you would find in the National Cemetery in Washington, D.C., atop this there is a flame that is never supposed to go out. And when we were there, they were actually working on fixing it. I didn't videotape that, but for those that are interested, it's a natural gas line that goes right to it. So that's how that flame is constantly lit. I will admit that while it is a very nice memorial to look at in the daytime, the time to come and see this is definitely at either twilight or dusk, because then you can actually see the flame a little better, and you also get some very nice sunrise or sunset pictures around it. Several years previous to my coming here in 2019, the area was under restoration as foot traffic was killing the grass and ground around it. Restoration has been totally completed as of October 2019 when I was here last, and you can now see it in its full beauty. Going back to my interest of different style monuments, this is the 90th Pennsylvania Infantry Monument. This monument to the 90th Pennsylvania Infantry, Baxter's Brigade, Robinson's Division, 1st Corps marks the unit's position on July 1st. It is located on Doubleday Avenue and was originally dedicated September 3rd, 1888, at a cost of $1,500. It is created from light westerly granite and standard bronze. As you can see, it is a rather unique looking monument. You really don't see anything else like this on the battlefield, which is why I always have to stop and either photograph it or in this case videotape it when I do come. And last we have the 11th Pennsylvania Infantry Monument. While it does look very similar to a lot of other monuments that you'll find around the battlefield, this particular one is Baxter's Brigade, Robinson's Division, 1st Corps marks their location on the Battle of July 1st. It is located on Doubleday Avenue, was originally dedicated on September 3rd, 1980 at a cost of $2,255, and it's made of standard bronze. The reason that this is such an interesting monument is the story behind she was the regiment's mascot dog, and on July 1st, 1863, she had gotten lost by the regiment, only to be found days later on Oak Ridge, where the 11th had been fighting on the first day, where she remained with the soldiers of her infantry unit, who were left there wounded. As you can see, most people just drive past this monument because Sally is located on the front of the monument while the back is facing the road. So a few things to check out on your next visit.